Am I the a-hole for not wanting to share my inheritance with my cousins? My father's brother John got divorced some years ago because his relationship with his wife Kate became toxic. He had to give up his living house as alimony to her, and both his kids, 19 and 17, refused to remain in contact with him because Kate told them to choose any one of their parents. So he started living with my parents and we both had formed a very good bond. A few weeks ago, he died due to heart attack. When we met with his lawyer, Larry, we got to know that he had hidden a lot of his financial stuff from his ex-wife. He told us that divorce as well as alimony was mutually decided between John and his ex-wife, so he didn't have to disclose his properties in court. We got to know that he miraculously acquired 3 houses after his divorce, out of which he passed 2 to me and 1 to my sister. He listed my dad as beneficiary on his insurance and passed 2 bank accounts to his sons and 1 account to Kate. Larry also told me that I inherited some stocks. He asked me would I like to share those stocks to my cousin, to which I refused. Now I am being confronted by Kate that John defrauded her and their sons, and she's telling me that she will sue him. Larry told her that he will then file a counter case for defamation against her and listed that she has no claims to support her statements and wished her best of luck for suing a dead person. My parents are feeling guilty for my cousins, and they want to split our inheritance with them. Which I don't want to because this money will make our future secure. And I know how much John was upset with his sons. If he wanted them to get anything, he would have listed it in his will. So am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. Don't go against your dead uncle's wishes. Obviously he felt strongly about his own kids disowning him. And now they're just concerned that they were left out of his fortunes after he's gone. Your cousins sound like crappy people. Yep, they chose badly the money stakes. And don't give them a single thing, even an apology. A lawyer can use that against you and help invalidate the will. It unravels fast when it all gets going. Hold tight and keep your mouth and wallet shut. Actually, according to OP, his uncle left each of his sons and ex-wife 1 of his bank accounts apiece. Since the divorce was final before his death, and a property settlement had been approved by the court and executed, his ex would apparently not have a legal leg to stand on. OP, you're not a a-hole. Keep what you inherited with a clear conscience. If your parents want to give a portion of their inheritance to your cousins, nothing is stopping them from doing so. Not a a-hole. Your uncle provided for his sons and his ex-wife in his will. He also made a conscious decision to provide for you and other members of your family. That was your uncle's choice. It is his right to decide how his estate is divided. You're not obligated to share your portion with anyone just because they're upset that they didn't get everything. Not to mention, if how Opie described the divorce is accurate, the aunt doesn't have a leg to stand on. She agreed on what she got in alimony and child support, and didn't require all assets being shown in the courts. Not the a-hole. He wanted you to have them and not his sons. You don't have to share anything with those who cut him off for really no reason at all. They did get bank accounts, so they did get something. Follow what your uncle wanted. Next story is titled, Am I the a-hole for making my husband kick his sister out of our house? I, 28 female, have been married to my husband, 30 male, for 3 years, together for almost 5. He is in the military and travels often, so I stay alone at home. When I was a kid, I was really into stuffed animals, and when my nieces were born, I gave them almost all of them, except for the 3 that were special to me. One was given to me by my dad when I turned 2. The second one was given by one of my dad's friends on my 7th birthday, and it's named after him, Johnny. Sadly passed away in a car accident, so I always kept that one to remember him. The third one was given to me by my dad after he had a car accident. He brought it on his way back, and everywhere I moved, I brought them with me. Never paid attention to what people said. 2 months ago, my sister-in-law, 20 female, asked if she could stay with us since she lost her job and was struggling to pay rent, plus college, etc. My husband asked me if I would be okay with it since he would be deployed soon and I would be the one staying with her. I agreed since we never really had an issue before. My husband left a month ago and everything was going okay with his sister. She goes to class online, she would keep her room clean, we would buy groceries, and sometimes she would help. The only issue that we had was that she couldn't bring people over if she was alone at our house. One time, she brought her boyfriend, and we just told her that in that case, she needed to let us know since we don't really know him. The issue now, Last week, my husband got back from his deployment since it was just a course or something like that. We planned to go out for the weekend to spend time alone. And when we got back, I found Johnny the trash can with one of his arms cut off. I started asking what happened. I went to check and the elephant was missing too. I asked sister-in-law since she was the one there. And she told me her boyfriend brought his little sister around, and she was playing with him and she ripped his arm. And since it was old, she threw it in the trash, and she took the pink elephant since she really liked it. I started crying and told her she had no right to throw it away. And my husband got involved and told her she broke every single rule and disrespected us at our house, that she needed to tell his boyfriend to bring that elephant back right now and start packing her things to leave. She got mad and started arguing with my husband and called me a baby for crying over stuffed animals. She called her boyfriend and brought it back, and my husband said he would take Johnny to get fixed too. Now his parents are calling us and saying we are a bunch of babies reacting that way over two stuffed animals like we were kids, that how dare he kicked his own sister out like that. He told them he was not arguing with them and to pay for a place for her since we aren't free hotel. Everyone in his family is mad at us and blaming me, saying I manipulated my husband and put him against his own family. I don't think we did anything wrong, but all the messages are getting to me now. Am I the a-hole for the way I reacted? Not the a-hole. Not only did she violate the rules you guys set out, she let someone else's child play with your precious keepsakes and break one. Instead of trying to fix her mistake, she simply threw it away. The audacity. Good for your husband for sticking up for you and holding his ground. Sounds like a keeper. She also gave one away. I would ask each and every one of those family members what they would do if someone stole their mementos of loved ones. Yes, the title made it sound like she forced her husband to do it when he was completely on her page. That sister was awful to let a child destroy a childhood toy and steal another. Parents of husband are no better that they excuse this behavior and called Opie childish as well. Not a-hole, of course, but the title conflicts with the content. If the content is right, you did not make your husband throw her out, but he did the right thing on his own. So if that is true, special kudos to your husband. Perfect reaction. I typed it like that because that is everyone is saying, that I make him kick his sister out. Yeah, well, good indication in how serious to take those people. Makes one wonder if they even know what happened. Next story. Am I the a-hole for not telling my wife I have biological children? I, 44 male, have been with my wife 12 years, married for 6. We have 3 beautiful kids. We support our kids, we live in our dream home, we vacation often. Life is good for us and I have no complaints. The problem is, when I was in college, I was 19, a classmate of mine and her wife approached me about being a donor of her and her wife. They were both in their late 20s and wanted to have children. So I agree and told my parents about it. Lawyers were involved that I was not to seek them out or try to contact them or the kids. Everyone was on the same page and eventually found out they both were able to get pregnant. A few months later, I signed some more papers at a lawyer's office. Never heard anything else. They moved on, I moved on. Then when visiting my parents, my wife and I ran into this family. Their son looks exactly like me, to the point where it was uncomfortable, and their daughter looks like my sister. They introduced us and it was awkward but pleasant. My wife was completely blindsided, but I understand. I never brought it up with my wife because when we first started dating, fertility was a huge trigger for her because she had been told she would never have kids. But then we started popping out babies, so I never felt the need to bring this up because I could legally never be involved with these kids. Like ever. But now she's threatening divorce. She's really struggling with the fact that our kids have siblings. I try to tell her that they don't, that they aren't my kids. And these women, their mothers, mean literally nothing to me. I go years without even giving them a thought. In hindsight, I could have, but I really was trying not to trigger a very sensitive issue for her. And we eventually have beautiful children of our own. So I feel like the a-hole. Edited to add, I have acknowledged my wife's feelings. She handed me my butt several times, but I haven't even tried to tell her she's wrong for being upset. I'm trying to get her to agree to therapy. These pregnancies were done in a clinic, so I did not sleep with these women. I have had copies of everything sent over to show my wife, including the non-disclosure agreement, because we went to the same university, and parental rights. Now for the comments. No a-holes here. I get both sides. To you, those children are not your children. You donated genetic materials and that was the end of your involvement. However, I can also see your wife's side, because she didn't know. If I knew my husband had donated seed, it wouldn't bother me. If he knew that had resulted in a child and hadn't mentioned it to me, I'd have felt hurt and lied to. And that is probably what's upsetting your wife. She feels you deceived her. And if you kept this from her, what else have you kept from her? Not least, because my mind would be going to the what-ifs in terms of if our child got into a relationship with their biological sibling. This is the answer. You are literally a sperm donor, and that's what the legal papers are all about. Proof that you can't approach them and vice versa. It was a transaction that took place before you even met your wife. That said, from her perspective, you have fathered children. And as a parent, she's feeling like that's a very big deal, even in absentia. It may have her wondering, if you can be a father without telling me after the 12 years we've been together, then what else do I not know about you? Personally, I think threatening divorce is quite an overreaction. But what's called for is probably some marriage counseling to work through this. Once a trained professional is involved to help you both work through your different points of view, you can hopefully go on your married path together. The important thing to focus on after all this is the 3 children you created and raised together, not the 2 you donated seed for. Good luck. No a-holes here. I get why she's mad, and I absolutely get why you didn't say anything. Do you think marriage counseling will help? She's reluctant to try therapy. I keep bringing it up, but she's so angry. And I get it. In her mind, you lied to her and withheld information. In your mind, you were trying to spare her emotions when she was having difficulties getting pregnant. Good luck, OP. Soft, you're the a-hole. Never mentioning it? Did you date for a second, then start trying to have kids? That's a little weird. I mean, your wife is overreacting, but also it is a little weird. Yes, we had kids very quickly. Before we got married, her decision to wait to get married is because of school. Still, it's something that absolutely should have been brought up. She now is wondering how many other things just didn't get brought up. Now for the last story. Am I the a-hole for not accommodating my friend who recently had a baby? My friend recently had a baby. We are in our mid-20s, so we're still very much the type to go out and have fun at bars, parties, nightclubs, travel to new places, you name it. But she got pregnant last year and had a baby, so we haven't been able to do much of that for obvious reasons. I've always supported her, even planned her baby shower for her and got her home ready for when she came back with her newborn. But recently she came to me ass backwards and went off on me because I apparently did not accommodate her and her child. She went on to say that she was upset because I'm always doing stuff without her knowing she has a baby. She brought up the fact that after her baby shower, a few of us in our circle went out to a local bar we always go to, and she couldn't go because she was very pregnant and they smoke inside that bar. I asked her what the issue was, because I had spent the entire day making sure she didn't lift a finger for her baby shower, that my friends wanted to treat me to some drinks after all the hard work I did. It was after we had cleaned up for her baby shower, and she was even complaining about how tired she was. She then said that I always want to go out to places that aren't child-friendly, and that it wasn't fair to her because she deserves to hang out with her friends too. But she actually does hang out with us all the time. Every few weeks, our friend group does a barbecue where she can bring the baby around us and hang out with us. We even visit her on separate occasions just to spend time with her or invite her out to lunch. Then a few weeks ago, we all went to an adults-only casino cruise, and she was super upset that she couldn't go and kept asking why we couldn't go to a place like Family Resort, where she could bring her kid. We are all heavy drinkers when we party. When we want to party, we freaking party. And that's no place to bring a 6-month-old baby no matter where we do end up going. We just want to have fun, and not worry that little Billy has to have a diaper change and the music is too loud or vulgar. She got very upset that a few of us went to a new bar they opened up in our downtown district after work, and she couldn't make it because of the baby. We did invite her in case she could spare a few hours, but that didn't happen. She even said that we were purposefully excluding her. To that I simply replied, I'm sorry you're feeling that way, but we're a bunch of single 20-something-year-old people working 10 hours a day 40 to 70 hours a week. I'd wanted to have a drink or two. We didn't choose to have a kid with you, therefore we don't have to always worry about accommodating you. You had a baby. Life changed for you. I have no issue making more time for you, but I'm not going to stop going to some of my favorite places with some of my favorite people whenever I want to and can, because you have other responsibilities now. She got very, very angry and hung up on me. So I want to know, am I the a-hole for not always accommodating with my friend? Not the a-hole. She had a kid. And having kids comes with adult responsibilities and giving up the party life in this stage of her child's life. You said you all have been accommodating and do invite her to child-friendly things, which is a compromise. It's not fair or reasonable for you all to drop your fun time plans because she became a parent. Thank you. We've told her this, and she doesn't want to hear it. No sense in trying to change her mind, you know. Sounds like she's just jealous and upset that she's missing out, and unfortunately that's the path she's chosen. I'd give her space to cool down and have motherhood set in for her. Who knows? It might change her for the better. Wow. If she wants to go that badly, she can get a freaking sitter. I'm a mom to a 3-year-old, and I would never behave like this. Being a mom means you can't go to absolutely everything. It also means that you can't force your friends to stop having fun because you had a kid. That's ridiculous. Not stay home. That's what we tell her. And she has gotten one a few times, but her issue is she doesn't want to miss anything. I don't even have a kid, and I even can't make it to everything my friends do. We all can't. We are adults working crazy hours. Your friend has the fear of missing out and is struggling with the fact that life for her has changed. You're not a-hole. And she'll have to accept that not every plan/event/venue will be family-friendly. And that may mean she can't attend. It won't be forever. Moms can go out and have fun too. But you're under no obligation to make your lives PG because she had a baby.